Hi there, Chris, Chap in the Cap, Motor Legends. Today we're going to be talking about a new for 22 glove from the Finnish brand Rukka. It's called the Apollo 2. New for 2022 is the Rukka Apollo 2. It's much like the old Rukka Apollo 1, it's just newer. By which I mean, somewhat glibly, it's the same kind of glove, it's just going to be different in terms of the detailing. In concept, this is a summer waterproof glove. That means it's got a membrane but no thermal content. So this is a glove that you might wear from, say, the end of March right through to the end of October. It's not going to be warm enough for most of us for the very coldest months of winter, so November, December, January, February. By the same token, it could be a glove that's going to become a little bit sweaty on the hottest days of summer. The membrane comes courtesy of Gore-Tex, and it's a laminated membrane, what's known as a Gore grip membrane. It's laminated to the inside of the leather, it's also laminated to the lining. Now that's going to make this glove a particularly waterproof glove. It is true that the leather in heavy rain is going to absorb moisture, but this is still a glove that is never going to wet out. The Gore grip lamination also is going to make the lining very difficult to pull out, because that's a problem with many waterproof gloves. If your hand gets hot and sweaty, if the glove gets soaked with rain, when you pull your hand out, you can pull the lining out with it. But that shouldn't happen because of the lamination. It should be incredibly difficult to pull the lining out of this glove. I'm not setting that up as a challenge, but it would be a very rare occurrence for someone to be able to pull the lining out with this glove. The Gore grip has another benefit. It gives you a great feel on the bars. Because we've got the membrane bonded all through the glove, there's a lot of tactile feeling at the ends of the fingers. In a normal waterproof glove, you'll have some air gaps and you'll have the membrane and it'll all be a bit woolly, but with a Gore grip membrane, you get much better feel on the bars. The truth is that this is not going to be, however, the most comfortable glove, especially to begin with. But I think that's the price that you just have to pay when you want this level of protection and this level of waterproofing. The glove is made entirely of goat's leather. You've got this foam-backed hard knuckle protector. So the hard knuckle protector is great in terms of an impact, but the foam is going to absorb the energy of that impact. You've got open back detailing here, and what that means is as you put your hand around the grips, this opens up, just makes it a little bit more comfortable. On the two fingers here and on the thumb, you've got concertina stretch. Again, the idea is it just makes the glove a little bit more comfortable. You've got an extra panel of leather here between the forefinger and the thumb, excuse me. You've also got this particularly sturdy slider. You've got two means of adjusting at the wrist, so you've got this around the wrist itself and this around the cuff, because in essence, this is the kind of glove that you want to wear tight so you can put it inside the sleeve of your jacket. You've got touchscreen sensitive finger and thumb here, so on both hands, the forefinger and the thumb are touchscreen sensitive. On the left hand, you've got a visor wiper. You've got these little pads here on the minor knuckles. Again, in theory, they are going to absorb a little bit of impact, but I think they're probably more decorative than anything else. You've got a little bit also of reflective detailing. Now, this glove, I think, goes head to head with Rukka's own glove called the Virium. And if you had to try to create clear blue water between the two, I would say that this glove is not going to be quite so waterproof. I don't think you're ever going to get your hands wet in these, but in theory, in heavy rain, these will absorb a little bit more rain. So I think your hands will feel drier and probably stay a little bit warmer in heavy rain in the Viriums, but the upside to this glove is because it's all leather, this is going to be ultimately a more protective glove, and ultimately, because it's leather and it's going to give, ultimately, it will become a more comfortable glove. In terms of pricing, it's $199.99. That's about £30 more than the Virium glove. So you have to ask, is £30 a reasonable premium to pay for the extra between a textile glove and a leather glove? And bear in mind that the Virium has no leather on it at all. That is the only vegan glove in the Rukka range. Personally, I don't think the difference is unreasonable. It's not a cheap glove by any means, but it's a heck of a glove. If you'd like to see more Rukka gloves, visit the website motorlegends.com. If you'd like to learn more about this particular glove, then if you click on one of the links on the screen, sometimes they're up there, sometimes they're down there, that will take you to a dedicated page on the website. There you can check out the spec in a little bit more detail, you can check the availability out, and if you want, you can buy the glove there and then. Now, when you buy from us, we try to make the process as simple, straightforward and risk-free as we possibly can. There's no delivery charge on any item of protective wear that you buy from us. Returns are totally free, and what's more, we give you a full 12 months in which to decide whether you do want to return something to us. We have the best price promise in the business. Now, John Lewis used to be rightfully famous for their never knowingly undersold price promise, but we go one stage better. If you find anyone selling anything that we sell at a price that is lower than ours, we will beat that competitor's price by a full 10%. Now, there are a few terms and conditions associated with what we call our price beat, nothing particularly onerous, but if you are going to price beat us, I suggest you visit the website and check out what those terms and conditions are. If in the future you'd like to see bulletins from us about new products, then go to the website again. Top of the page, there's a piece of script that says newsletter sign up. Click on that. Within seconds, you'll be in business. If, however, you prefer to get your information videographically, that is to say in this form, we'd be simply delighted if you want to become a subscriber to our YouTube channel, and you can do that by clicking on the button below. Finally, I'd like to make a play for our little shop here at Moto Legends. We're about a mile from the centre of Guildford, a mile from the railway station. And as I've said, it's a pretty small shop. It's got a small footprint, but it's attached to our warehouse where we have more than £2 million worth of merchandise that ranges over 3 floors. And technically that makes this the second largest motorcycle apparel shop in the country. But we think that we are far more than just the amount of merchandise we have here in the building. We're about service, we're about personal fitting. If you want to check us out, visit Trustpilot. We have the highest 5-star ranking in the business. When you service, we'll serve you only the finest Italian illy coffee, and we'll serve you only proper Yorkshire tea in a proper teapot. And if you're lucky, you'll get one of our famous motorcycle shaped shortbread biscuits as well. Anyway, this has been Chris. I hope to talk to you again soon.